Hey everyone, and welcome to the Gold Level Daily Dose number 8. We're going to do a deeper dive into the WOW challenges. That stands for War on Weakness challenges, because you're exercising your self-discipline. You're going to be able, through exercise and self-discipline, to believe in yourself again, to be able to keep self-promises, and that's what that's all about. So we're going to talk about that, and in addition to that, we're going to talk about how to come off of a holiday and how to get back in efficient fat burning immediately instead of waiting 2 days. So let's get going. Okay, Gold Level members, let's talk a little bit about this weekly timing chart again with a quick review of what we discussed yesterday. So your symbols are changing in your weekly timing chart. Do I have a weekly timing chart? Well, those scales, those darn weight scales that we weigh ourselves on, they do not tell the entire truth. You can lose a lot of weight from the onset of starting a new program, be doing your best, and then all of a sudden the scales go up. You think you've gained weight, you think that your program's not working. Not so. There's other times you're not doing well on your program and the weight goes down temporarily. You think you're doing good. Not so. We cannot trust the weight scales, especially in a short, if we're looking at a snapshot, a short period in time. They are not truthful. The weigh scales are only truthful if you look at them and the numbers that they're indicating, whether a gain or a loss, they're only truthful if we're looking at the weight scales over a longer period of time. Okay? So what the weekly timing chart does, it lets me know if I'm following the definitions of a perfect day or an intermittent fasting day or a divine day or a WOW day. It lets me know, regardless of what the weight scales say, if I'm being honest of in my journal about what type of day it was, I can trust this weekly timing chart much more than I can trust the weight scale. So let's do a quick review. A green check mark stands for a regular Shibboleth approved perfect day. This mark, intermittent fasting mark, it stands for a Shibboleth approved intermittent fasting day where you've had at least a 12-hour window of time where you fasted. We prefer you do 16 hours and work your way up to even 20. Fire mark, this stands for efficient fat burning. This means after 2 of these check marks, you're in efficient fat burning mode. Then you have the holiday. You've got the holiday where, hey, holidays are allowed on our program and in our lifestyle. So here you are, a little super dude here, and you're taking your mask off for the day, and you're going to have a holiday. See, you can have up to 6 holidays a month, and as far as we're concerned, you're nailing it. You're nailing it. This is good. When you get into maintenance, you can have up to 12 of these little guys. It's only when you get outside of 6 in a month during the weight loss mode or 12 in a month during the maintenance mode that now we're having blow-it days and the little devil mark shows up because the diet devil's winning. Now you'll notice that there's fire marks with these little symbols above it. What this means is if you see the intermittent fasting mark by itself, that means you're not in efficient fat burning, but you had an intermittent fasting day. Because after a holiday I had 1 intermittent fasting day, I'm back in efficient fat burning this next day, and I had it by having an intermittent fasting day. You've also got the mark for a divine day. So now you'll see the regular fire, which means it's just a standard perfect day, and then you'll see the fire when it has these marks above it, which means you went over and beyond just a regular efficient fat burning day. Now, if I'm seeing a chart like this with all this fire, you better rest assured, if I've been true to my definitions, that I'm burning some fat. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about what you're going to experience when you're losing weight. That first month, with consistency and persistence, you're going to lose about 10% of your body weight if you're a beginner or someone that's restarting. In other words, if you're 300 pounds, your first month, you can expect to lose around 30 pounds if you're sticking to the lifestyle. After that, you're going to lose about 1% of your body weight per week until you get down to that last 10 to 15 pounds, and it's going to be about a 0.5% of your body weight per week. So 1% of your body weight. Let's say that you're 245 pounds and you've been in the lifestyle for a while, the Shaboth lifestyle for a while, then you're going to lose about 2.5 pounds that week if you do your best and don't have more than 1 or 2 holidays. It doesn't matter what the weigh scale says day in and day out because there's water fluctuation, there's sugar reload. So listen, if you have a week where you really burn fat, let's look at this. You got week 1, week 2, week 3, and I had an intermittent fasting day and then all fire. This week, this particular week, I'm going to really drop some body fat. And the scale number is going to look pretty good too because I'm just killing it. I've had an intermittent fasting day, an EFB day, a divine EFB day, an intermittent fasting EFB day. I had a great week. Now let's say during this week I dropped 3.5, 4 pounds. Then I come down here and I have a holiday. After a holiday, I'm going to put on 3 or 4 pounds, and you can be discouraged because you think all this that I lost last week, I gained in one day. But you didn't, you see. What you really did was you pulled glycogen and water into your cells. And as long as you don't keep going and having those types of holidays, the next day, if you will get back focused and do what you're supposed to be doing, you'll drop all of the weight that you gained on this holiday. Just by having one really solid day, by the 21st, you've paid for that day. You've paid the price for that holiday if you just get back going. But what people do is they allow themselves to get discouraged and they allow themselves to give up because there's a part of you called the flesh that wants to give up. The spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. You're going to have to walk in step with the Holy Spirit and look for ways to stay involved. Look for ways to be persistent and consistent. In fact, I think it's a spoiled mentality for any of us to think that we can lose 10 pounds a week, 7 pounds a week, 5 pounds a week after spending years abusing our bodies, abusing our temples. Think of it this way. It took me 30 years to end up at over 300 pounds on all those prescription medications, but only 6 months of weekly timing charts like this to lose all of that weight, to get it off and come off prescriptions. I don't know about you, if justice had been served, it would have took me a decade to get that weight off. But it took me less than 6 months. That's mercy. That's grace. You got to always be talking yourself into it. Let's go to those WOW challenges. Talked about these yesterday. I want to look at them some more. Here I am. It says war on weakness, lose up to 1 pound each day. And surely until you get to that last 10 to 15 pounds that you need to get off, you can lose up to 1 pound each day. Amazing, I know, but you can and it will happen if you follow them exactly. Now you must follow them exactly, and that includes the special instructions. There's many on here. We get a lot of folks email and message and say, well, they're strange. What do you mean they're strange? Well, let's look at it. All right, it's strange. Tuna helper and ice cream. It don't get much stranger than that. Why did I put tuna helper and ice cream on a meal plan? Number one, I've put the nutrition together for you to ensure, if you do it right, to ensure that you have fat loss and weight loss. These are really good to do after a holiday because you'll get that water weight off, you'll get that sugar weight off. But I've also made them strange because I want it to be a discipline thing. In the Bible said in one place, a lot of people think that fasting means going without anything, but many times in the Bible they declare a fast, and what they would do is disengage from things that they were becoming addicted to. So it was more, they would declare a fast and they would include nothing that was savory, as one writer said. Nothing that was delicious, in other words. Here we've put together some weird ones to keep you aware. So it says breakfast. Now think about this. Think about this. Challenge yourself. I've told people before, they love these exercise routines. They like to get through those exercise routines. But weight loss and fat loss is all about nutrition. Very little to do with exercise and supplementation. Mainly about nutrition. We don't have time to dive deeper into that right now, but I'm telling you, take my word for it. It's all about nutrition. How many people do you see in the gym working their tails off, but their tail ain't going nowhere? That big end is still there. It's because they ain't eating right. If anything, they get through at the gym and they think, I'll go reward myself with food. Don't work that way. So what we've done here, we've given you like a routine. Instead of an exercise routine, it's like a nutrition routine for a day. It's exciting. Get excited. Breakfast, skip breakfast. If you must have something, have a health-wise high-protein hot chocolate or an Advocare Coffeeccino. You can have nothing, okay? You can skip it. You can eat air. It's a challenge. You're not going to die. You're not going to starve to death. You're just not. You think you're going to starve to death, the next time you tell yourself that, know that that's from the devil whispering in your ear. You need to get naked. And you need to go look in your mirror, jump up and down. If you got more jiggling and itching than you want jiggling and itching, well, you ain't starving to death. So skip breakfast. If you got to have something, have one of these listed things. I get email that says, well, I don't like those two things and I'm not buying them. Well, it says skip breakfast. You can skip it. Lunch. One package of one package of Advanced Health Systems mac and cheese or one package of Advanced Health Systems fettuccine with 3 ounces of canned or packaged tuna in water. Dinner, same thing. But here you get a snack or dessert. 1 cup of your favorite Halo Top flavor with or without sugar-free Hershey syrup or a calorie-free Walden Farms syrup. Now, here's how you can manipulate this meal plan. You skip breakfast. Maybe you don't even want lunch, and instead of lunch, you'd rather have this snack that's allowed. You'd rather have some Halo Top, and then for dinner, have the tuna helper. You'll get better results that way. So anything you omit here, unless special instruction says do not omit it, you'll get better results. Now here it says cheesy joke. You can tune a piano, but you cannot tune a fish. Enjoy the Tuna Helper Challenge. In other words, there's no special instructions. You've got exercise recommendations to give you more profound results. When you're eating like this, I'm setting you up to just eliminate the fat, eliminate the body fat. So if I've already got you in efficient fat burning, and now you increase your energy outlay, you get in those steps, 10,000, 15, 20,000 steps. You do that, oh Lord, that's going to be a day. Wow, that's going to be a day you really burn the fat. Here's what I like to see people do. Now remember, you have to accept it here. Declare the day you're going to accept it and accept it. One of the things I love to see people do is look at the busiest days of the week. What are your busiest days of the week? Maybe you look at the days that you know you're not going out to eat with any friends, you know you're not going to be at a church function. You still need to have perfect days on those days. But look at the busy days of the week when your mind is going to be most off of food. And then challenge yourself with some of these challenges. Declare it. Do it exactly. Don't add anything to it. You can omit items. And look at all of these great fun things. Chocolate Covered Almond Day. Tasty Weight Loss Quest Day. Enlightened Ice Cream Day. Bionic on steroids. There is no better waffle challenge. You've got muffins in London. This is one of my favorites. Check this out. You got Mighty Muffin, and then you eat air for lunch. And then you get to dinner, and man, the growl is going. You've been embracing the growl. You've been burning the fat efficiently. Now you get some fantastic London broil cooked in MCT oil. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So these are great days to accelerate your fat burning. Now, as we said, and yesterday I told you I'm going to teach you not how to get back into EFB after a holiday with one day. I'm going to show you, or tell you rather, how to do that, how to get back into EFB without wasting any days. In other words, if you have a holiday, I'd rather it be a holiday meal, not an entire day of hog troughing it. But either way, it will work. And we've programmed the system so that it can identify whether you're in EFB. But again, it's all about you being honest. If you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. So let's say that you had a holiday. You've had a holiday on a Wednesday. You went out to the Mexican restaurant Wednesday evening and you really done it in. You had that big bad holiday, but the next day you had a Shibboleth approved intermittent fasting day or a WOW day, and you also got in 25,000 steps. The next day it's going to show that preceding day to be an efficient fat burning day. In other words, you lost no time. You lost no time at all. You remained in EFB, because what those 25,000 steps will do with my meal plans is get all that sugar back out of your system, help neutralize the insulin much faster so that you're back in EFB by the time you lay your head on your pillow. You don't believe me? Try it on the weight scales. But again, I must say, it must be a true intermittent fasting day according to my definition. It must be a true WOW challenge day based upon my definition. And you must get in those 25,000 steps. Now, in my own journey, as I got in the best shape of my life from the neck down, I will tell you, as I use myself as the guinea pig for over a year, I will tell you this: beware of your flesh. Because one of the things I caught myself doing a few times is that I would be in a situation where it was an unplanned holiday. And I would go on and I would hog trough it. But before I hog troughed it, I'd tell myself it's okay, because tomorrow I'll have an intermittent fasting day or a WOW challenge day, and I'll get in my 25,000 steps. I rationalized and justified because the next day I'll be able to really repair the damage I've done in that day. And then lo and behold, my flesh would take over, and the next day I wouldn't get in my 25,000 steps. That takes some time to get that in. So don't rationalize and justify something that you know you're not going to do the next day. I hope that makes sense. We'll dive deeper into it in subsequent videos. I hope today's video helped you. I hope it helped you, reassure you, and I hope it motivates you to get your life back. This is your year if you'll allow it to be so. Talk to you tomorrow.